If your sweetheart rules over the fresh flavors from the ocean, Waterbar is the perfect restaurant that you need to bring your beloved on this Valentine's Day. Welcome to Escapades with Anu. Today I'm with Pete Setnick at Waterbar Restaurant, one of the most famous and premier restaurants in San Francisco. We welcome you to the program, and we hope you are enjoying this lovely day in San Francisco. We are. Tell us about the history of the restaurant a little.
So Waterbar opened actually just a little over 7 years ago with our sister restaurant next door, Epic Roast House. That would be January of 2008. So a relatively short time for a restaurant, but we've had a lot of fun while we've been here.
And a lot of success from what I've read and I've heard. So what do you attribute it to? Is it the location?
There's a lot of things that go into a great restaurant, but where we are right here on the water underneath the Bay Bridge is a phenomenal space to be. And really, it is what drove us to build these two restaurants. But we've got great chefs that are all really focused on using local, fresh, sustainable ingredients. And we've got a great staff that's very dedicated to providing great service. And so if you put all those elements together and a beautiful setting like Waterbar, then you can be relatively successful.
And that leads me to the next question. Beautiful setting for a beautiful holiday that's just around the corner. Valentine's Day, what's Waterbar cooking up in its kitchen?
So Valentine's Day is always a very busy day for the restaurants, but one that we know is even more important to the guests that come here. So we always expect to be phenomenally busy, but we also want to make sure that we provide an experience that will be memorable and that the guests will never forget. So the Bay Bridge will be lit up with the lights on Valentine's night, so it provides a very, very romantic atmosphere. And then we've got a wonderful menu featuring local Dungeness crab, New England lobster, caviar, oysters, all of those sexy foods that people will enjoy on Valentine's Day. And then we'll have a selection of great wine to accompany it. And so it's really a place where you can enjoy a great dining experience, but the setting will be such that it'll be romantic, while at the same time it'll be high energy, it'll be very busy.
And talking of sexy scene, sexy setting, romance in the air, oysters are historically famous for being an aphrodisiac, and you guys have one of the most acclaimed oyster bars in the city. Tell us a little about that.
Well, we typically do anywhere from 20 to 30 different varieties of oysters on any given day. We have one chef at Waterbar that is his sole job, is to source out great oysters from both the West Coast and from the East Coast. So oysters typically known as an aphrodisiac. So we're going to get Valentine's Day started off by having a special, which we do every day of the week. Oysters for $1 from 11:30 to 5:30. So that'll get the day rolling, and then as we move into the night, we'll have all the other oysters available. And typically at Waterbar, we have anywhere from 1 to 2 to maybe 4 or 5 chefs and cooks shucking oysters at the same time.
That has to be one of the best kept secrets at Waterbar and in San Francisco, because oysters for $1? I've never heard that.
A lot of people know about that. A lot of people know.
Is it in danger of putting you out of business?
Well, we do have to limit the order to 2 dozen per table at a time. That way everybody gets to enjoy it.
Valentine's, I feel like we need some flowers, so
Oh,
we'll do some
absolutely.
little fresh edible flowers, brighten it up. And that's that one. So if you
Look
want
at
to
how pretty
take a
that
little
is.
taste,
And I
hopefully.
get to sample
Yes.
it. Yay!
And it's nice and light, it's not too heavy, so after a long
It's
meal, you can-
amazing. It's
Hopefully.
scrumptious. We are with Angela Salvatore, pastry chef at the Waterbar restaurant, and we are going to ask her some questions about Valentine's Day. Angela, what are you whipping up, or should I say cooking up for Valentine's Day?
It is a little bit of a whip, yeah. There will be some whipping. We're actually going to make a beet cake. So it's a cocoa beet cake that will have a chocolate lava center. So we'll do a little truffle in the center. So when we cut into it after it bakes, it'll kind of ooze out. I always think with Valentine's Day, I always picture something pink or red, but then chocolate, something decadent, something rich and delicious, but not too heavy either. So yeah, right now I have a little butter in the mixing bowl. We're going to add sugar and brown sugar. And so we're just going to cream that, so get it nice and airy and fluffy. And then once that's going, we're going to drizzle in some oil. So I'm just canola oil, no major flavor. Kind of slowly, but back on. One trick in pastry is to always kind of scrape down the bowl so there aren't any pockets of butter in the bottom or pockets of sugar, just so at the end you don't get a lump of flour or whatnot. Beet cake with the lava centers, the chocolate center. So they actually slip right out because I sprayed it. Actually, we'll do a little chocolate sauce on the plate. Ooh. This makes it a little more decadent. I'm just gonna circle the cake. Just go for a little powdered sugar, kind of highlight that. I like whipped cream, so this one's actually vanilla creme fraiche. Kind of just cuts through some of that sweetness, lightens it up a little bit. Fancy. And then for me, Valentine's, I feel like we need some flowers. So we'll do some little fresh edible flowers, brighten it up. And that's that one. So if you want
Look at
to
how pretty
take a
that
little
is.
taste,
And I
hopefully.
get to sample
Yes.
it. Yay!
And it's nice and light, it's not too heavy, so after a long
It's
meal.
amazing. It's
Hopefully.
scrumptious. From decadent desserts to sinful seafood, Waterbar is now one of my favorite hangout places in the city.
Well, now that we got you thinking about Valentine's Day and how it should be celebrated with inputs from all of our lovely hosts, I'm sure you're going to have the best Valentine ever. Whatever you do, don't forget to say, I love you, because we love you. We are here because of your love for us. Don't forget to write us at info@womennow.tv what you thought about Valentine and how you celebrated Valentine, so we can probably read it next year when we do the show here.